Hello everybody, I'm Brian Daigle and I'm from Daigle Hardwood Flooring. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about cup floors, moisture damaged floors, separations, a couple things I just wanted to go over. Cup floors are moisture damaged floors. As you can see how your floors are perfectly flat here and they get wet or they pick up moisture. Could be from the humidity during a hot humid summer, and the floorboards will expand. They have no place else to go, so they start to force the edges up. That's what you see here, and this is what we refer to as a cup floor. And a cup floor can happen from many things. It could be happening from, like I said before, the hot and humid weather, or if you have a water leak, could be from a dishwasher in a kitchen or a refrigerator. Could be water coming in from outside through a window or a door, and these things will happen and they'll force themselves up. Given time, they will dry themselves out and lay down perfectly flat again. So it's not unusual to have something like this and then go back to being normal again. A Christmas tree, for example, what's overfilled one time will do this to your floor, but it will go back. Now, if the subflooring got extremely wet, that's the only time when you'll probably find that it won't go back. It'll go through this pattern of getting wet, the edges become raised, go back to laying down flat again, and then eventually it may become crowned or humped in the middle. Once something like that occurs, the only solution is to sand and refinish the floor. And then that'll sand it smooth and it won't happen again unless this is a sign when things have dried out. If you were to sand the cup floor too early and they were still raised up, you're going to take the edges right off. So what will happen is when they go back to laid back normal again, you'll end up with a crown floor because you sanded the edge off, and when it goes back to being normal, which should be like this, the edges will be gone, so you'll end up with a crown look. You'll have to re-sand that floor. So again, you'll end up with a scenario like this, but don't panic. Give it time. Let it dry out on its own. These boards are all interlocked together. They're all nailed through this little point here, and if you have to start tearing flooring out, it's never going to be the same. Now, another problem that occurs is in the wintertime is when the boards shrink. There's a lot of shrinking and expanding and contracting which occurs in a home. So what you want to do in the wintertime is make sure you got the proper humidification coming in. Put the moisture back in as you're drying it out during the wintertime. So you can either have the humidification system on your furnace, make sure you turn the dial up to the proper recommended manufacturer recommendations, or you use humidification from a humidifier, or you just wash the floor more. There are some humidistats that are out there. Radio Shack makes one. Gives you the temperature, gives you the relative humidity. You can monitor that and follow that and correct. If a floor does get wet, there is a moisture reading device where you would either poke your wood or you would turn it on and it'll get a reading density through the wood. Right now this table is running about 8%. So again, the most important thing is when you do get water damage or moisture damage to your floor, don't panic. There's no need at that point, I think, to call your insurance company, but if you feel more comfortably with that, do it. Let it dry out. It will dry out and lay down flat. If that subflooring got wet, you'll end up with a crown. If you sand that cup off, you'll get a crown floor. Now this example is different from a buckled floor. A buckled floor is where two pieces of wood will come completely off the floor and nothing's going to make those floors go back down, so you'll have to remove, replace, and go forward from there. So I hope I helped you out with this and you get a better understanding. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you learned something.